Welcome to our demonstration video for part 2 of the survey. First, let's take a look at how this question has been set up. Down the left-hand side of the page, you will see the list of the 30 different types of social legacy we identified in our literature review. Then on the right-hand side, you'll see 5 boxes which each represent a different category for you to group the social legacy types against. Here is where you group them according to whether you think the social legacy type is essential to include in a social legacy footprint. Perhaps you think that the social legacy type is useful to include but not essential. You might be unsure where you think it fits. You might think social legacy type is unimportant to plan or to measure for. And there might be others that you think are unrealistic to expect from an event and or to measure in a social legacy footprint. To get started, pick one that jumps out at you, click on the statement, drag it to the relevant box and drop it in. Let's do a few more so that you can see just what that will look like. You'll see that as we drag them in, they automatically are assigned numbers to demonstrate what their ranking is, and I'm going to talk about that in just a second. Once you've allocated all of your social legacy types to boxes, so your screen might look something similar to what you can see here, we'd like you to look at each grouping individually and rank each of the social legacy types according to how important you think they are within each group. You can see that when you've done your initial grouping, each statement has been assigned a number as you've dropped it in the box. For this step, we want to make sure that those numbers reflect your prioritisation of these social legacy types. So you might want to pick these ones up down here that you think are more important and move them to the top to make sure that this spells out your most important items and your order of priority. For the useful but not essential grouping, we want to follow the same pattern. So the ones at the top are the ones that you would say, you know what, if we had extra resourcing to include extra ideas in our social legacy footprint, these are the ones that I'd prioritise to put in first. In terms of your unsure box, number 1 should be the one that you're most uncertain about, that you really don't know whether this is something that should be included or shouldn't be included. You're not sure at this point in time. When we get to the unimportant and unrealistic boxes, here number 1 should be the one that you think is most important to leave out. So if we said something like this one here is definitely not important, then we want to make sure that it's number 1. And if we think something is unrealistic and definitely shouldn't be included, we want to make sure that it's sitting at number 1 as well. When you're happy with your prioritisation in each of those boxes, we're going to scroll down the page and we've popped in a little checkpoint to make sure that you've done both steps, so the grouping and the ranking. If you haven't done both, you'll get a little warning pop up and you'll be encouraged to go back and complete the task. And if you have completed everything, then you get the chance to move on. We hope after you've had a look at this video that you have a better idea of what's expected of you and how to get through the task. Thank you.